A Florida man faces prison after sending threatening messages as a squirrel. There is an epidemic of giant holes being dug in the Florida beaches. A small Florida town accidentally sold its water tower, and the Florida man claims he had permission to expose himself on the beach. These are all the stories for Friday. They're all from our favorite place, Florida. That's right, it's Florida Fridays on Weird AF News. I'm your host, Jonesy. Thank you for joining me. All the weird news from this week from the state of Florida. Let's get to it.
Those bizarre stories you hear about all the time that seem to only happen here in Florida. I know, right?
Can't make this stuff up. It is just one of the many wacky news stories out of Florida.
Why does the Sunshine State consistently produce such strange news?
But what accounts for all this bizarre news? Is it the weather? Is it the people?
Florida is full of the crazy stories.
A Florida man is facing prison after sending threatening messages as a squirrel. Yeah, as a squirrel, he sent threatening messages. I have so many questions. A Daytona Beach, Florida man is facing up to 30 years in the old prison time after being convicted this week of vandalizing vehicles belonging to an Asian American family in the neighborhood with racial slurs, threatening them, using a squirrel persona as well. This guy's name is Kyle. Kyle spray painted two of the family's vehicles with awful things. I'm looking at a photo. It says terrible things on the cars. Not just against Asians, against other people as well. This guy went buck wild with the old spray paint can. He's not a very good speller, but then again, he's a Floridian. So he painted two of the vehicles, and then he placed nails in their driveway as well. He put nails behind the car. Where have you seen that work except for like Wile E. Coyote cartoons? Nails behind the car. Like everybody finds them and just sweeps them away, you idiot. Oh, I'm going to put a bunch of nails behind their tires. They'll never see it. You just sprayed their car completely in huge letters with terrible things. You're not going to think that they're going to see the nails also? Dummy. What is the family saying happened? Well, 5 days before the vehicle vandalism, the male victim's wife received a message on Facebook that targeted her family with slurs, specifically against Vietnamese people. Now, here's where it gets a little weird. The messages came from a Facebook account with a squirrel photo and the name Pinecone. Yeah, a squirrel photo and the name Pinecone. I thought you had to have a real name on the Facebook accounts. Didn't they make that a rule? You couldn't just put anything on there. Yeah, I know, because I tried to just use Jonesy, and they're like, no, sir, you need a real name. It's like, okay. But yeah, he decided a squirrel photo and Pinecone, and Facebook's like, sure, go ahead. Right, that seems normal. You couldn't possibly be doing something shady with your squirrel photo and the name Pinecone on the account. We're just going to let this slide right through. And you're a Floridian, so I'm sure nothing bad's going to happen with this account. Now, the squirrel photo. Pinecone's a strange name, by the way. Just to choose Pinecone, you would assume that he would choose Squirrel in the title, like Captain Squirrel, or Squirrel Nuts, or the Florida Squirrel. Now, what did he tell the family? Well, one of the things he said was just awful. He told them they needed to die from rat poison. Yeah, that was specifically what it said. You need to die from rat poison. It's very, very specific. Not just die. How would you like us to die, sir? Rat poison. Yes, that's right. The woman is a dentist, by the way. She identified this guy, Kyle, as a new patient who went to her office the day before she received these messages. She believes Kyle was expecting a white doctor because her last name is not an Asian last name. He was extremely disappointed not getting a white dentist. I'll tell you right now, be happy with the Asian dentists. The Asian dentists, I can tell you, are far superior than the white dentists. I've been going to Asian dentists for years. I can speak from experience. You want Asian doctors and dentists all day long. This is what you want. Anything real technical, man, the Asians will deliver. I'm telling you right now, Kyle, give it a chance. Don't write racial slurs as a squirrel. Just give the Asian dentist a chance first. She's going to do great things for your mouth, man, and for your life. Trust me. Now, the woman alleged that Kyle was rude to her and very rude to her assistant specifically, who broke down in tears. Now, that's not okay. Here's a quote from the lady. It claims that Kyle kept on saying that this office isn't what it seems. And he would never expand on that. So that was that. The woman said, "This office isn't what it seems." Yeah, this office is exactly what it seems. It's a dentist office. And I don't know if you've been living under a rock, but you can be a dentist and be of a different ethnicity, sir. I don't know what. He's completely surprised that there's Asian doctors out there. Dude, wait till you see the Indian doctors out there. There's so many of them. Your mind's going to be blown, Kyle. Travel a little bit. Get out there and live a little bit. So many Indian doctors. By the way, they do wonderful work as well. Investigation, it says, revealed Pinecone also sent messages to the Bureau of Immigration in the Philippines. Well, I guess he was displeased with the Philippines as well. I wonder why. The Facebook user, Pinecone, said that they were planning to stab the first Filipino that they saw as retribution for their brother, who was allegedly mistreated during a visit to the Philippines. So one of the squirrels was, my brother, your brother, the squirrel, was mistreated in the Philippines. I love how this guy just wants to stab the first Filipino he sees because his brother was mistreated. It's like, what did your brother do, sir? If your brother's anything like you, I'm going to say he deserved the mistreatment that he received in the Philippines. You don't seem like very tolerant people, Kyle and family. Wow, good times, good times. I'm going to open up an account as a termite and just harass this guy. Have you been seeing giant holes on the beaches? Well, you're not alone. Carrie Auerbach walked onto Treasure Island's beach this week holding a plastic shovel. Why was she holding a plastic shovel? She was filling in holes. She's been finding and filling in holes that have been scattered all across the public beaches in Pinellas County. Here's a quote from Carrie. Like, basically, I'm going to need a bigger shovel. There are holes that are so big, that 3 or 4 bodies could fit in them. Like, so big. I'm going to fill these holes. That's why I got a shovel, okay? I got a shovel at the dollar store. It's a good one. I'm going to fill in the holes. Over the past 2 weeks, large grave-type holes have appeared up and down some Pinellas County beaches, spurring efforts from city officials and volunteers to educate the beachgoers about why these giant grave-like holes could be hazardous. There have been more than a dozen holes in Treasure Island alone, dug by beachgoers and then left there to sit, popping up larger and more frequently than normal. It's prompting questions about why. Why now are people digging massive holes and then leaving them? What is the deal with the massive holes on the Pinellas County beaches? Are they bored? Is this a prank of some sort? Here's another quote from Carrie. I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, we scratch our heads. We just can't figure it out. Carrie started a Facebook page to document the cleanup effort with these holes. The holes can cause injuries for nighttime runners, in case you didn't know, or patrol vehicles run by fire and police departments. While a city ordinance doesn't really ban beachgoers from digging holes at the beach, it does require that they fill them in upon request. You shouldn't even have to request it. You should just fill in the big holes. Like, that's beach etiquette. As soon as that sun goes down, someone's going to run right in there and break an ankle. You should fill in your holes. All right? I've always done that. I've been a big fan of digging big holes at the beach. Spend all day with that shit. Building up my triceps as a teenager. Sometimes I put my friend in there and I bury him up to his neck. That's right. And then I took a Capri Sun and I would like, hey, you want the Capri Sun? I put it up to his face and I go, no, no, no. And I take it away. And then I put it right back. Oh, you want a sip of the Capri Sun? Oh, no, no, no. And I take it away. It's a good, fun, torturous time. Now, environmental groups are worrying about this, though, because there's a danger, apparently, to the sea turtles. All of them are threatened. Most of them are endangered. Mother sea turtles come to the shore. They dig a nest in the sand. They lay their eggs, which sit in the sand for about 2 months before hatching between May and October. After they hatch, the sea turtles try to navigate their way back to the water. But if the beach is filled with giant grave-like holes, these little baby turtles may not ever make it out to sea. They'll be just sitting in these holes, perfect targets for birds to come and pluck them up, and they'll never make it to adulthood. Big time concern for the Clearwater Marine Aquarium in particular, which is an environmental group down there. Here's a quote from their supervisor, Lindsay. That can become a big issue for these turtles because they only have so much energy to get to the water and then, get to the sargassum weed line, which becomes their habitat for many years. Now, wasting their energy trying to get out of this large hole on the beach. That's less energy that the turtles have to make it to where they're supposed to be to live a long life. We're very concerned about these people digging the holes. Not okay. Now there's a mayor in the area. Mayor John Hendricks called the holes part of living in a touristy area. Well, listen, John, set the bar a little bit higher for yourself. My goodness. Oh, that's just living in a touristy area. No, not okay that people are leaving holes like this, Mayor John. That means your tourists don't have manners. That means people don't have manners. This is not a tourist thing. It's like a common sense thing. The article goes on and on about the history of the fire chief and all these people. There's a quote from the Treasure Island fire chief, William Bars. He says, I don't think that these holes are being dug maliciously. I don't think there's any conspiracy or anything like that. Oh, no conspiracy. You don't think that the holes are caused by 5G? But certainly people don't want to do anything that impacts the fire service's ability to respond. Most people don't want to harm the sea turtles. They're generally well-loved creatures. So I think once we get the information out there, the problem will just resolve itself. That's assuming that Floridians can follow information. Police chief. The police chief is like setting the bar way higher than the mayor. I hope the information gets taken in and understood, and that people quit this behavior, for the sea turtles especially. That's what concerns me, guys. So listen, I know you're all going to make it to the beach. You like to dig them big holes. Make sure you take the time to fill them in. Don't be lazy. They fill in very quickly. You don't even need a shovel. You can use your legs. While we're testing, what that there Florida Friday, man? What is that just gonna be the dumb bus? But the damn busting, But in the prison, man. What about drug use, man? This what they call the Gatorland, man. A small Florida town accidentally sold its water tower. When business owner Bobby Reed approached the Brooksville City Council about purchasing a municipal building at the base of the small Florida city's water tower, he didn't expect the water tower to come with it. Bobby discovered the mistake after the property had been sold to him for only $55,000. The certified personal trainer intended to turn the building, which various city departments used at the time for storage, into a personal training studio named Downtown Athletics. But when Bobby went to the county property appraiser's office to get an address for his new business, the county told him he'd received much more than just the building. Oh, much more. Several thousand gallons more. The water tower included. How do you screw this up? Here's a quote from Bobby. I immediately went through the necessary steps to deed the water tower back to the city of Brooksville. All right. The city's intention was to sell me a split section of the land with the small garage, not the water tower. That was a big mistake. I didn't want that water tower. I'm deeding it back to the city. Well, thank you, Bobby, a good Floridian, giving back the water tower. You guys would be in real hot water if this guy kept that water tower. Holy crap. What a mistake. So dumb, municipalities and the people running them. I'm amazed that anything works at all in this land. I'm amazed that the garbage truck shows up to my building every week and takes garbage away. I'm like, wow, that's a miracle itself. The surprise purchase boiled down to a mix-up over the legal description of this property. Yeah. The Brooksville city manager says the building that Bobby wanted to buy was never split off from the parent property where the water tower is based. Even though city leaders were aware it was supposed to be, city code allows properties to be split one time from their parent parcel, apparently. So the city's aware of it, but they're just like, nah, it's okay. What could possibly happen? It's not like no one's is anyone really going to sell the water tower? That's just crazy. It's just crazy. I just can't see that happening. Anyways, does anybody want to buy a city hall building? Anybody interested in that at all? We'll give it to you. Good deal. $17,000 we're looking for it. It comes with some nice steps, a gold leaf roof tower. Now, Bobby officially owned the water tower for only a little over a week. He never had keys or access to the water tower. Oh, man, come on. You owned your own water tower for a week and you didn't even go for a dip, nothing? I mean, take a sip of the damn thing. You didn't open the spout one time to see what would happen? I would totally do some experimentation with my own personal water tower. I mean, I'd attach a slip and slide. Imagine the possibilities. I mean, invite your friends over for a drink. I mean, this would be incredible to own your own water tower. Who gets to own their own private water tower? How could you not have like the biggest water balloon fight in history at the base of your water tower? So you wasted a good time, Bobby. The possibilities, but you're a good guy, so.
Yay! You like podcasts? You're listening to my podcast. Maybe you thought to yourself, I'd like to make a podcast. Too difficult. No, not with Anchor. Anchor has free creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast from your phone or your computer. Anchor distributes your podcast to Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, and more. They have advertising integration, so you can even make a little money off your podcast. Everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. And good luck with your podcast. Good luck with your creation. Good luck with your life, man.
A Florida man on the beach says he had permission to expose himself. Yes, officers, I have permission. Would you like to see the note from my mommy? 64-year-old Alan Stewart Volpel was found near a lifeguard tower on Clearwater Beach. Nothing good happening at the lifeguard tower on Clearwater Beach, I tell you. He was catching some rays. The problem was Alan was looking to get a tan all over his body. He was exposed. And, you know, an exposed 64-year-old Floridian is not a pleasant experience for those in the area, for those in the vicinity of the lifeguard tower. The lifeguard's got to be there all day looking at it. Psst, don't want that at all. The lifeguard's not paid enough to look at your member all day, Alan. So the police showed up, of course. They found Alan on his side with everything on display for all the beachgoers to see. The police read him his rights. When they asked about his decision to not wear a bathing suit, Alan said he was given permission to do so, since even though he had no pants, he was wearing a shirt. No, it's okay. I'm wearing a shirt. So, you know, it's okay to dangle out all day if I got a shirt on. Where does it say? I mean, where does it say? Indecent exposure is completely naked. I thought that's how it worked, right? You're still decent if you're covered from the waist up, I'd imagine. That's still decent, right? The police report does not mention who Alan claims he got permission from to be naked. I love how they take it so seriously. No, he says he got permission. Well, who gave you permission? Like anyone would give this guy permission? You would even investigate? Can you show us an email from somebody that has authority of the beach? Did the mayor send you a registered letter, Alan? You want to go home and get it? I mean, we're willing to see who gave you permission and investigate it. You claim that you got permission. Alan is a registered sex offender. Oh, no kidding. He's a registered sex offender. Get out of here. A Clearwater man? You're out of your mind. He's a registered sex offender. Back in 2001, he was convicted of exposing himself to a minor. Yeah, well, he exposed himself to a minor on this beach as well, because when you get naked on the beach, there's minors there. Everybody's there. The lifeguard's there. Lifeguard's not paid enough to see that. It's just really not. The shirt, no pants look is not new. Donald Duck and Winnie the Pooh have been on that trend for many years. Maybe they gave him permission.
Yay!
Party's over, said the girl. Hope you guys had a nice weekend, or you're having a nice weekend. Thank you for sending me Florida stories. I appreciate that. It was super helpful. I tried to put out a great episode for you this week. I got some nice reviews on Apple Podcasts I wanted to read and give thanks to. This one is from Row Your Boat. Oh, row your boat. Gave me 5 stars. Row Your Boat loves Weird AF News, apparently. 5 stars. Row Your Boat writes, funny podcast, dreamy host. Oh, you called me dreamy? That makes me feel nice and confident. Something I need to feel sometimes. Then here's the review. Jonesy had me hooked after I heard a Florida Friday episode, and now I am an every morning listener. Highly recommend! Exclamation. Highly recommend. Thank you for highly recommending me, Row Your Boat, to all your fellow sailors. This review is from Casamali. Casamali sounds like a Mexican restaurant, but I think it's a person. Casamali writes, 5 stars, by the way. Thank you, Casamali, for the 5 stars. And then just writes, yes, good job. This made me cry of joy. This made me cry of joy. Cry of joy. I'm so happy to make you cry of joy. That's the purpose of this podcast, to make you cry of joy. Listen, I tremendously appreciative of everyone who has written me reviews over the years. It's super helpful to raise the exposure of the podcast and give it credibility. So if you would like to help me out, please write a review on Amazon or Apple Podcasts. It's very helpful. And please give me 5 stars, or at least 3. That would be fair, right? I think 3's like 3 would be average, right? If you also would like to help out, you can join the Patreon. The Patreon? What is that? Oh, it's a place where you can give a couple bucks a month towards the production of this podcast. You would consider yourself somewhat of a producer, but you don't. It's just not you're giving your money away for nothing. You know, you get that good feeling knowing that you're helping keep this going, and you get extra content in the Patreon that I put effort out into putting in there. So it's pretty cool. What else? Oh, if you'd like to call the show, because you're from Florida and you're offended, call 646-450-2012. State your case. Call for help if you're in Florida. You just call for help. I don't know what I can do for you, but I'll publish a cry for help. Anybody in Florida want to cry for help? Here's the hotline. Here's the helpline, 646-450-2012. Just call and leave me your message of help, and we'll see what we can do here. My email is funnyjones@gmail.com. Follow me on the Instagram to see what I'm doing this weekend, @funnyjones. There's all sorts of cool stuff happening in my life now that the world is getting normal again. I'm able to do shows, which is just tremendous. I'm so pleased with that. It makes me very happy. And I've even had a few auditions. Can you believe it? Crazy. So things are getting better, and I'm getting happier because of that. And I hope you are too in your life. I hope that things are getting normal for you, and that you're having some good times. You know, we went a while without having some good times with good people. So hopefully you're doing that this weekend. Have a barbecue. Go to a pool party or a water park. Six Flags. Maybe there's one in your area. Highly recommend it. Unless you're in one of these places that it's 125 degrees, don't go to Six Flags if it's 125 degrees. Save your own life.